Yeah.
So it's not like you find ways to make things work.
Yeah.
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 Even if it's difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it wasn't this, it would be something else.
Well, and that's the thing
That sounds
with
like
my
such
sickness.
a blah thing to say, but let me just kind of unroll that for a bit. Like, if it wasn't this, it's not like we'd be walking around and having nothing to complain about. There would just be something that looked like Mount Everest that we had to overcome that would be nothing compared to this, but we don't have this as a reference point. And so this other
we
thing
had Mount Errigal in Ireland.
in Ireland, yeah.
Yeah, and we had other things to overcome then. And it's...
Yeah. I once went to confession here on campus. I was just really struggling to love you. And I was just getting frustrated with you being sick and just... I knew it wasn't your fault, right? Like, I knew that objectively, but it was just like... Everything was just so frustrating. And I went to confession and I confessed that. And it was nice. I got a nice slap. It was, he's like, well, buddy... You promised in sickness and health, and guess what? Now's sickness. So what are you going to do? I was like, all right, ease up, man. No, I was so grateful for that. But
I think in fairness to you too, it went from, I would have these sick flare-ups in Georgia. So it would be like maybe once a month or every 3 months, I would just get crazy sick and like not function. And then when we moved to Steubenville, it was like always not functioning. Like within the first 6 months, I think I had three different week-long hospital stays.
Yeah. This has been the most difficult thing. We even, like, there's a video online people can go check out. It was when you and I announced that we were moving to Steubenville. Remember that video?
Oh, yeah.
We look 10 years younger.
Yeah. We have aged.
Significantly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we both have.
Yeah.
I got so much more white in my beard and in my hair.
I mean, I move like a grandpa.
Or a grandma.
Or that. Yeah. I don't know. My dad was like getting out of a chair, like making noises. And then I did the same thing. He was like, oh, Cameron. I'm like, Dad, you sound the same. He's like, yeah, but I'm an old man. I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah. No, but that's important because just like you wouldn't get any better if you weren't allowed to express how much pain you're in and how difficult things are. Someone living with people with chronic pain, they need to also find a way to express this. But how would you recommend someone do that?
I think finding someone
you probably have like your cup is full, like, you know, and as much as like you might want to hear me or a woman or a husband might want to hear their spouse, maybe they're not in the place to take any more on because they're suffering as enough as it is. Yeah.
I think finding someone that's been there before you, that's come through it.
Yeah.
So like I've mentioned to you, like talk to Plato or talk to, you know,
huge. Yeah.
And I think having someone that's been there before, I think it's the same with like being a dad and like adjusting to that. Like we got thrown a really crazy, colicky, sick baby. And we were alone in a freezing cold house
in Ireland,
you know, and I still remember, Sheena Foy sitting us down and like doing an intervention. And she's so like, helpful. You have a hard baby. I'm like, no, I don't. He's fine. I don't know why I had an Irish accent, but she's like, oh no, he's very rough. You're killing Matt here. You got to let him know it's very hard. You have a hard baby.
That was painful for me because we had a hard life with that beautiful child who just happened to be colicky. And I felt like, I was like, this is freaking hard. And you're like, no, it's great. It's great. And I feel like we both needed to change.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I feel like I needed to be validated in why this was so painful so I could like ease off telling you all the time that it was so painful. And you needed to kind of agree with me without falling into despair. Yeah. You know, this is tough. This is friggin' tough. Yeah. What are we going to do?
Yeah. And I think we both were in survival mode and we just went at it different ways. So I was hospitalized with Liam more than I wasn't. So I was pregnant for almost 10 months, 9.5 months. And I spent over half that time in the hospital. In the beginning, it was like dehydration because I was vomiting and everything. And then it was crazy stomach pains. And then it was all these contractions and they thought he was coming early. And like, it was just a lot. Right. And then never mind his birth. Right. I labored for what? 3 days and then finally ended up with an emergency C-section and my epidural didn't take. I mean, that was excruciatingly painful.
Bless you.
And then because I had because so the epidural didn't take, but they had to get him out. His heart rate he was in trouble. I was in trouble. And I still remember the anesthesiologist being like, you can't do anything. The doctor's like, we need to get the baby out. It's like, cut me open, just do it. And they strapped me down, which I find so fascinating. My arms were straight out. So this is not an American C-section. I need you to know. We were in Ireland. So people that had a C-section in the 70s, before I was born, that's what my C-section was. So it was pelvic bone to pelvic bone, my whole body. And
man, I can't even hear this without wanting to throw up.
Do you
can't
remember
imagine
this?
going through it.
You went through it.
Of course,
you were there.
Well, I went through it. I didn't go through it.
Well, they rushed you out of the room. I started reacting from
My
pain, and then they put me
gosh.
under, and so they took you out of the room. And I remember coming to and just saying, this is my body given up for you. Jesus, I love you. I entrust this child to you.
Yeah.
And not knowing if he or she was alive. And then because I had all my GI issues, they didn't give me medicine. Do you remember? They wouldn't give me any pain meds. They gave me Panadol. Why don't you explain to the Americans what Panadol is?
It's Tylenol.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And so I couldn't even walk until like day 7. I was in excruciating pain. You snuck me an extra strength Panadol.
I'm pretty cool. I would have been cooler if I snuck you in whiskey.
Or morphine, something more powerful. Yeah, like you don't cut a woman open and then like, good luck.
Yeah.
But it was rough. And I feel like we both were in survival mode. And yeah. I don't even know where we were going with that. Sorry. But the cross. What else?
I just got a text from Father Jason. I didn't mean to look at it, except it popped up and I wanted to read it. He says, a very pious and loving family in one of our Ukrainian parishes lost a baby at birth last night. Would you pray for them, Matt? I'm not going to say their names. Yeah, but we just ask through the intercession of God, the most, through the intercession of the Blessed Virgin, for the healing of these parents and the pain they're going through, and for the salvation of their little baby. Yeah, brutal. Yeah, life's hard.
Life is hard.
It's freaking hard. That's the one thing Peterson gets right. I think that's partly why we love him so much.
Because he says life's hard.
It's like, yeah, it's brutal. Like, he'll kick the shit out of you. And all of you at some point will be destroyed, and it'll be worse than you think it will be. And we're all like, thank God someone said it, because I thought I was weird, you know? Like you get all those cliche, crappy quote posters at high schools about walk a mile in another person's shoes. You ever heard the joke to that one?
No.
I told Avila this. She loved it. Yeah, you've heard the joke. You've heard the...
Yeah, oh yeah, I know the saying.
Before you judge somebody, before you make fun of somebody, walk a mile in their shoes. Because when you make fun of them, you'll be a mile away from them and you'll have their shoes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's good to admit, life is hard. That's another thing that they say with like chronic pain and everything is mentally, like keeping your head. So many people struggle with depression and anxiety. And then when you don't have validation, you go to despair.
Yeah.
And like not going there and not overly focusing on the sickness.
Hey, thanks for watching. Before you go, I want you to go and download the best Catholic app in the universe, Hallow, HALLOW.com/Matt. Why am I saying /Matt? Because if you go to the website and download it there, click the link in the description below, you can try the app, the full app out for 3 months. If you don't like it, cancel. You won't be charged a dime. It's a very reasonable monthly rate. But as I say, you won't get charged for the first 3 months. Please go check them out. They've got excellent things over there like sleep stories and litanies and novenas and audio books. It's all very professionally done, and I'd highly recommend it. Hallow.com/Matt. That's, and I'm just double checking, Hallow.com/Matt. Link in the description.